Welcome to the Piss Poor Prospects podcast, live from the Piss Cave in Whitby, Ontario. I am your co-host, Kelsey Powell, and I'm joined by...
Sean Togod.
Sean is here again, and we are back and hot and full of takes, ready to take it into your kitchen with our great opinions and fun ways of talking.
All over your kitchen.
Oh, yeah, R. Kelly style.
Well...
No, actually not. It's a style all of our own.
Maybe not that intense.
No, not really that intense or, like, against your will. I hope to be invited into your kitchen to share my sports takes.
We would like to graciously accept your invitation.
Exactly. That's how we roll on the Piss Poor Prospects podcast.
Gracious and humble.
Yeah. That doesn't lessen the intensity.
Nope.
As you'll see very soon. So, how you been, Sean?
I've been pretty good. Pretty busy. Just keeping my eye out around the sports world for things that are going on.
Yeah, me too. I've been busy as well, but, not too busy for sports. To be honest, I haven't watched the Leafs much. It's quite a boring year for the Leafs. I think you'll agree.
It is indeed.
And that's okay. I think the growing pains of... It's like the montage. Like, this is like the montage part of the 80s movie. They've reached rock bottom, and now we can sum up this season in just a quick montage with Def Leppard playing behind it.
That sounds good.
Just like Morgan Riley throwing a medicine ball around.
I like that idea.
Yeah, that's how I'm seeing this season. I'm loving the tank. Like, I've embraced the tank fully.
This season is a montage for next season.
Exactly. And that it'll be like the next season will be maybe not the like heavyweight bout, to put it in boxing terms, but it'll be like a solid semifinals.
A solid semifinal knockout.
Yeah. It'll be like the gaining confidence and like, hey, I can do this scene. But there's things to follow, but I find I'm more reading about the season than actually watching the games.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
Mm-hmm. Not like the Raptors, though. The Raptors have been very fun to watch. They're an exciting team, and they're really, really rolling right now.
They're a captivating team to watch. I'm all over their defense right now. I'm loving how they're playing defense. That's what I want to see out of this team. Last year, they were able to outscore people, but we saw in the playoffs that really didn't last that long. So the fact that they're able to keep people under 100 points consistently is always good to see.
It's amazing to see. I mean, I couldn't even watch the Washington series last year because they couldn't get a stop. I turned off 3 of the games, I think.
It hurt me.
It was painful. I couldn't do it. And they finally figured it out. And this has always been part of the of Coach Casey's plan.
Always.
He's always been preaching this. He's always been frustrated with his team. And now he finally has the personnel that are buying in. They're able to... I think the Corey Joseph signing allows Kyle to keep a little bit more fresh. You saw him wearing down in fourth quarters last year. They're just doing what they need to do and clicking. Like, I'm pretty impressed. Pardon me?
Corey Joseph is a fantastic backup for Kyle Lowry because the level of intensity really doesn't drop at all.
No. That's what you need to have, and I thought Vasquez was pretty good for that last year too. Not as good defensively as Joseph, though. In that when you have that new guy in, he has to keep the pressure on and play the same kind of style that Lowry does.
And he may be a slightly better defender than Lowry.
He is. He's a very good defender. And although Lowry, I give him credit, he's played very well defensively this year.
Yes, he has.
Any other standouts?
I would say Patrick Patterson defensively when it comes in is outstanding. He's been my favorite player for a while for sure.
He was great last year as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like Patterson. I'm a big Jonas fan, as you know, the big V.
Bismack.
Bismack Biyombo is the player we hoped he would be. He's been incredible.
People better give more credit to Masai Ujiri. He is a genius.
Oh, he had such a great offseason. Very impressive.
Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
I love that guy. I think he's one of the best GMs in the game. And yeah, the 4 signings he made were all hits. Not the sexiest, as we've said in the past, but all successful.
I mean, I'm disappointed that Damare Carroll went out so early. I really wanted to see what he was capable of doing.
Yeah, he'll be fresh for the playoffs, right?
Hopefully. That's the plan.
Yeah. They're not pushing him. That's the thing in the East. You can give them a couple more weeks than you normally would. They've got a bit of a lead now.
Are you calling the Eastern Conference soft?
Well, it can be. That's kind of changing, as you're seeing for the first time in a long time. The number 8 seed in the West is below 500.
Yeah, that is indeed true.
Mm-hmm.
I had to take a second look at that when I saw it because I was like, no, this can't be right.
It is right. All those high draft picks are finally catching up to the East, I guess. So things are finally turning around and equalizing, maybe.
Hopefully.
Yeah, it's about time.
Now, one thing I will say is David Blatt getting fired from the Cavs. I don't understand that. If you look at the Cavs' effort the last couple games before he got fired, like, they didn't put the effort in to save their coach.
No, well, they've never liked him. I've never heard LeBron say his name.
No. I don't understand that either.
I don't think he's a very good coach. Like I don't know if Tyronn Lue is that good, but I've never been a huge David Blatt fan. I don't think he's got a great strategic mind. He seems a little bit lost sometimes. And well, the team captain never really, like I said, I don't think he really ever respected him.
With all due respect to Tyronn Lue, like, if you're gonna fire David Blatt and your replacement is Tyronn Lue, you're basically admitting that LeBron runs that team.
Mm-hmm. Well, they get their wish now. Like, there's no excuse for LeBron now. It's his team, and it's his guy.
Was that his guy?
I think so. I mean, he wanted to get that guy. He wanted to get Blatt fired. I mean,
yeah.
I think he probably liked Lou, and it's weird to say Lou said some pretty edgy things about Blatt in his opening press conference. It's kind of surprised to see that, like, in the fraternity of coaches.
Yeah, he was barely at the door.
I know, it's you don't normally see that. There's normally a lot of respect among coaches. But he hasn't been a coach that long.
No, I guess he's still in that player's mindset, really.
Mm-hmm. That was big news. It's an interesting time to fire a coach.
It is.
When would you fire the coach? Like, when, obviously maybe the off season, but like, what is how do you know when to fire a coach in your mind? Just playing armchair.
Um, a little after like a couple bad losses perhaps when the defense seems to not be responding. I thought they were going to fire. I honestly thought they were going to fire Dwayne Casey after the Wizards series,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm happy that didn't happen.
Well, I'm
Or
glad.
at least one.
I'm glad that a jury put it on his roster construction and the players too. Like, I'm kind of glad Casey's getting another shot.
Yeah, or at least when they're lower down in the standings than what were they, first or second?
Yeah, second.
Yeah, like what's the point? I don't understand.
So what about in the case of like a St. Louis Blues? Like, are you the kind of guy who would fire a guy for not getting the team over the hump? Or like a Todd McClellan in San Jose? Like,
I think so. I think when you've had such a good team in St. Louis for so long and you're still not able to get to anywhere deep in the playoffs, I think that's when you fire your coach, because it's obviously not working, because the team on skill alone can get to where they got. So obviously the coaching wasn't that big a help, I don't think. So
yeah.
I think you fire when they've had a good team for years and they just can't advance any further than they have been doing.
Yeah, I'm not a huge, like, I'm kind of like a little more conservative about it. Like, I think if you think you have a good coach, you hold on to him and you just kind of play the percentages. I mean, that's just how I would run a franchise. Like the San Jose Sharks, it's weird they haven't won the cup, because statistically, if you're in there every year, you're going to win the cup eventually. Like the San Antonio Spurs, right? They're going to have a good team every year. They're never going to have a bad team.
Yeah.
And some of those times they're going to win the championship. I kind of like, if I like a guy, I'm going to stick with him for a long time, because I think the gain of possibly getting a boost from having a new coach is not as big a strategic advantage as the potential risk of disrupting your team.
So let's put that to the test then.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do if you're the Montreal Canadiens right now with Michel Therrien?
Well, I've never liked Michel Therrien. I've never thought he's a great coach. I think offensively he lacks creativity. I don't think he knows how to handle young players that well. And I just don't really like the guy. I would fire him, but I don't know. Are you trying to make the playoffs right now? Because you might as well just let him play out the year.
We're just firing shots here on the Piss Poor Prospects podcast.
Oh, we've never been afraid.
Nope.
No, this is what we do, man. We make personal attacks.
This is the diss track part 1 right here.
Yeah. We're going to put together a supercut of all the best disses from Piss Poor history.
And number 1 would be the Jeremy Roenick diss.
Jeremy Roenick.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, Jeremy Roenick would be up there. I think, what was the other good one that I had? Is it Elvis, maybe?
I don't know, but you wanted to burn the house of the,
Yeah, Caleb.
Yeah.
Yeah, Caleb's on the hit list for sure.
Yeah, we definitely got a few good ones we can put together.
The all shade version.
Did you did you see the Super Bowl commercial that Drake was in?
No, I was watching. Oh, I did see that one. Yeah, that was pretty good. He was just like talking to the camera. I liked it.
That's good old Degrassi junior high days.
That was like wholesome Degrassi Drake for sure. I liked it.
It's good to see his roots for sure.
I'm pro Drake.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm pro Drake. I like Drake. I enjoy his albums, and he's a fun personality. I'm excited to see him coach the celebrity team in the All-Star game.
I'm just excited to see Kevin Hart.
Yeah. But Drake is going to be like the ringmaster of this whole thing. It's awesome that that the game's coming to the six, as they say, and I'll fully embrace that term as well.
I will not.
I figured as much.
Why? Are you calling me a square?
I'm not calling you a square. I just you seem resistant to such terms. And to each his own. It's kind of stupid.
It's true. It's true.
But I grew up in the 6, being the 613 area code.
Ooh!
Yeah.
Some beef between the sixes.
Exactly.
Who is the real six?
I think 613, it's a bigger area.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a much bigger area than Toronto.
Is it now?
Oh, it's huge. It's like all of Eastern Ontario.
I'm oh yeah, I guess.
Right?
See, this is where my geography is lacking.
In your immediate province.
I can't say that I was ever good at geography as a child.
Hey, you're owning it. That's fine.
I'm owning it. I'll take the haters.
Yeah, just like Jeremy Roenick admitted that he dissed John Scott in his sideline interview.
How have I not seen this?
No, the funniest part was that John Scott didn't know that he had dissed him. So he's apologizing for something that he doesn't actually need to apologize for.
Where in the world is John Scott?
Where is he now?
Can we play a game right now? That's where. Yeah.
I think
Can
he's
we
in
play a game called Where in the World is John Scott?
He's doing his engineering homework on a bus outside of Greensboro, North Carolina, I bet.
Oh.
Because he's playing for the Carolina Mountain Rats.
What a glamorous life.
Well, that's how it is. You ride the buses when you come in. You ride the buses when you go out. You should read the Ryan Whitney article on in the Players Tribune.
I enjoyed that a lot.
Did you read that one?
Yeah.
About going to Russia? That was great.
It's such an interesting perspective, the Players Tribune.
Yeah, there's some good stuff.
Yeah, I really enjoy it.
I would recommend our listeners check that out. It's kind of you'd be surprised how eloquent a lot of these guys are. And they have edgier stories too than you're used to.
Yeah, I saw the one on Patrick Patterson when he first got traded to Toronto.
Oh, nice. Did not read that one, but I'll check it out. There's a lot I have to read because I find them very interesting.
So I don't know how to segue this, but there was a little football game over the weekend.
There was last night. Did you watch it at home?
I did.
Yeah. I don't have cable, so I had to go to a local barbecue place, and I had to watch it there.
How
But
was the food?
the food was really good. They have great. I had a pork belly and pulled pork shoulder poutine,
Ooh,
and it is still sitting in my gut. Like it is. It was very filling.
that sounds succulent.
It was succulent. It was just a lot of food. But yeah, I'd recommend it. It was Dr. J's Barbecues and Brews in Peterborough, Ontario, and they had big TVs that were showing the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that little thing.
That little thing. Great cultural event. I think even if you're not a football fan, it would be very interesting to watch, just as something we put a lot of ritualistic power into, and there's so many eyes on it that it's a very important cultural moment in the year, at least in this part of the world, and in many parts of the world. Actually, it's pretty popular worldwide. So where do we begin? It was a pretty good game, depending on what kind of style of football you like to see. Very defensive effort. You saw a great athlete kind of stifled by a great defense in Cam Newton, and you saw one once great athlete at the end of his rope, kind of give one last effort to win a championship, which was nice to see. Are you happy for Peyton?
I am very happy for Peyton. And it just goes to prove the old adage, good defense beats good offense every time.
You know, it does. Like, I actually had my money on the Panthers, and I really should have thought about it a little longer, because I am usually a huge fan of whoever has the best defense, and I just didn't think they could do it again after what they did to New England, and they did. Von Miller totally deserved the MVP, put a stamp on the game. He's an incredible linebacker, not just rushing the quarterback, but also in coverage. He was covering their best receiver, Greg Olsen, their tight end, on many plays.
Here's where you went wrong. This is where many people went wrong. A lot of people thought since Cam Newton was younger than Peyton Manning, then Cam Newton would be able to do more things. But Peyton Manning has the 3 Super Bowl experiences already under his belt. So when he's going into the game, he knows what he is going to face, and he's prepared, and he's done it before.
Yeah, I did think Cam felt it a little bit. I think he thought he had more time. It seemed like he was frustrated by the defense, obviously, and frustrated by his own team's inability to block or run or not take penalties. He was clearly frustrated throughout, and I thought he seemed to think he would have a little bit more time. I think he expected to have a couple more drives to get things done, and by the end of the third quarter, when they squandered that drive with another turnover, I think it started to dawn on him. It's going to be pretty tough to come back.
Yeah, for sure. The running game wasn't really able to get anything going. And when you can't get your running game going, it puts so much pressure on the passing game and the ability of Cam Newton to scramble out of the pocket.
Well, you saw that one play over and over again where Jonathan Stewart would just run into the back of his guard and get 1 yard. Like, it was awful to watch.
It was horrendous.
They should have abandoned it. I think they should have ran Newton more. They lost to one of Cam's favorite receivers, Corey Brown. They lost him to a concussion. They didn't have their best receiver, Kelvin Benjamin, all year. They lost him in training camp, so he just didn't have the weapons he needed. Quite disappointing, but quite a good game.
See, I'm reverting back to a novice football fan because I haven't been following it all year. So I know none of those things.
Well, a little background for you. They did have their best receiver has not been playing all year, so it's pretty amazing that they have the record that they have. And hey, maybe they come back strong next year, right? Like,
Cam will be good for a long time for sure.
I think so too. Good guy, good player. Interesting kind of race issues going on around the game. In that, it's the kind of thing I talk about all the time. Is that the sports culture is very conservative, and they don't like anybody with a personality. They want you to act like you've been there every time you get a touchdown, and never express your real personality because you're supposed to be subsumed under a team. And it's especially ugly when it takes on a racial characteristic, like it often does, especially in a game like football, and especially with a black quarterback. I thought it was pretty ridiculous, the double standard they were putting on him. I mean, Cam's allowed to have emotions, right?
Yeah, but that's America at its core, right?
Mm-hmm. They're happy making money off Cam Newton.
Always.
It's the same story. It's like, it's okay while it's profitable and you're not stepping out of the line, over the line. But once you do, it creates this shitstorm. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I was disappointed. It really provided a lens for us to look at that through, and to see a clear double standard.
Well, here's a poorly executed segue.
All right.
To look on the lighter side of things, let's examine the spectacle that is the halftime show.
Yeah. Well, the game was great, but I'm very interested in this whole thing as a cultural artifact. And this halftime show left us with a lot to talk about. It is, of course, headlined by Coldplay. If that doesn't get your blood up, I don't know what will.
Woo!
I mean, Coldplay, international superstars, them.
Yep.
Yeah, and they brought on some much needed help in Bruno Mars and Beyonce. And it was interesting. What were your thoughts as it unfolded, Sean?
First thing I thought was, why don't one of those kids just elbow Chris Martin in the back and have their moment of fame?
I know, like, I heard they didn't even get to keep their cellos and stuff. So, like, you might as well get a lick in on Chris Martin while you have the chance.
Nobody actually wants to fund music. Why would that be a thing?
I bet he didn't even shake their hands.
No.
He looked like he was on drugs. He was really sweaty. I think he was probably on Molly or something. His eyes were bloodshot, and he was sweating a lot, and he just looked like he didn't want to be there. He was smiling a lot.
He looked very close to the fans, a lot.
Like, close to like fans that keep him cool, or the people?
The people
Mm-hmm.
in proximity. It was weird. And then when Bruno Mars and Beyonce came in, he just looked so out of place in the back.
Oh my God.
It was ridiculous.
He should have just cut his losses and not tried to join the reprise of Uptown Funk.
It was rehearsed that way, Kelsey.
He should have just stayed back by the standing up drummer and let it happen. He had lost it. He had lost the halftime show at that point, and I think he was happy about that.
That drummer pulled some of the best faces I've ever seen.
He was trying. He was trying. But when I watched Coldplay, I did not see performers.
I just saw Chris Martin, and that's not the way it should be.
Yeah, well, he's not a performer. Like, you could tell he was not comfortable holding that stage.
No.
He, I'm not a huge Coldplay fan, obviously, but if you are, that's cool. They craft pretty good pop songs, but they just weren't. They're out of place at a Super Bowl. I'm not sure why they were chosen. They were available, I guess.
Probably because they wanted to pay for
it. Who would be your ideal halftime show then? I know you're not. I don't want to put you on the spot. I know you're not a huge music geek, but
Oasis.
Oh, come on.
Oasis. What do you mean? Come on.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
You better be.
No, I'm not kidding you.
Well, you know what? A lot of people like Oasis.
Oasis at the Super Bowl would be amazing.
I don't think so.
Oh my god.
Oasis are terrible. I would rather see Coldplay than Oasis.
What?
Yeah, what are you talking about? They're like the same level.
Get out of here.
They're worse than Coldplay.
Now you're just trolling me.
No, I'm not. I hate Oasis. I always have. I can't even watch Manchester City games because I know at some point they're going to show freaking Noel Gallagher drunk as hell in his box. I hate those guys. They're the worst.
That hurts me.
You know what? Like I say, to each his own. Just because I hate Oasis doesn't mean I hate people who like Oasis. But keep them away from my Super Bowl.
No, you're not going to get away with the to each his own line every time.
Yeah, that's what I take the high ground even when I'm just wading in shit.
No, Kelsey. That's not the way it goes.
Well, I'm no Dr. Zoidberg. I don't think you should feel bad just because your music is bad.
Drop the gloves.
I'm not dropping the gloves. I'm gonna skate around Phil Kessel style, whacking you with the thy stick once in a while, just to keep you from coming closer. That's how I roll.
Eventually, I will two-hand chop your ankle.
You can just chase me around the chicken coop until one of the refs gets you. I'll be taking the high ground the whole way.
Alright, well, fair enough. Now I look like an idiot on the podcast.
You don't look like an idiot. You made your pick. I made fun of it. I'm sorry. I'll give you a chance to defend yourself. Why would they make a good Super Bowl pick?
Have you seen their shows at, like, Glastonbury and, like, all those European festivals?
No. I imagine they're good.
Why did I even ask you that?
I'm not seeking it out. You should have phrased it a different way. It didn't involve asking me the question.
Anyway, they're really, really good.
Yeah, and you do need someone who can hold down a stadium, right? And I think that was the problem with Coldplay. It's like, okay, you want to see them maybe in a different context. You need someone with some energy to them. You need someone who can speak to that many different people and be comfortable with it. And I just don't think this was the band to do it. Beyonce did. Holy crap, she did. She knows how to do it. I think my pick, I know it's pretty expected, but I think right now in this historical moment, you got to give it to Nicki Minaj.
Oh my god, are you kidding me?
No, I mean, I'm a big fan.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding you. She was amazing. Was it Madonna who brought her out?
I have no idea.
A couple years ago, Madonna brought her out, and she killed it. And I think she deserves her own show. It's not classy music, but I'm not all that concerned about classy, as you may know.
I thought you were all about taking the high road.
I'm about taking the high road while like dancing and uh you know shit talking.
I respect that. For
it
for some reason, I respect that.
Yeah, that's just how I do it, man. Like I tweeted the other day, what if I act like I've been there, but I'm like super demonstrative about it?
I
That's
know.
that's me. It's like I'll act like I've been there.
I read that tweet and then I just ignored it.
Like I want you to know that I know that I'm acting that I've been there. Like I'll wipe. I'm gonna take a hanky out and like wipe sweat off my brow.
Actually, that makes a lot of sense. That explains a lot of things, Kelsey.
I'll be checking my watch.
It explains a lot of
I'll be like, I'll ask someone in the crowd like what the drive home is gonna be like. You know, is there traffic warnings or anything?
things.
I'm just gonna make sure everyone knows like I am I'm nonplussed by getting into the end zone.
Oh, so, uh, I guess if you're talking about pure spectacle, Nicki Minaj is good. But if you're talking about musical talent, it's gotta be Oasis.
I think we've decided that. Yeah, I think we can meet halfway on this one. Maybe we can get them both together. That would be pretty interesting.
That would be weird.
For a second, I thought they were gonna bring Bruce Springsteen out last night when they showed the shadow in the montage.
Oh yeah?
It's like, holy shit, it is Bruce. He's here. He is the one who can save us from Coldplay.
All that montage serves to prove is like, remember when these used to be good? Yeah, sorry about that. We do too. We can't do anything about it.
It was basically admitting that Coldplay weren't good enough.
That's why they had to get Bruno Mars and Beyonce.
Exactly. You just have to double down on it. I wonder why he wasn't in the dance contest.
Because he is British.
He was, and his move was hunching over and sweating.
I guess he's hit a new low since he and Gwyneth consciously uncoupled.
Yeah, it's too bad, man. I mean, I'm not on Team Gwyneth or Team Chris Martin.
I'm on no team whatsoever.
Nah, they both annoy me. Chris Martin annoys me more.
That's fair enough.
Yeah. I don't know. I just don't think they want to be a band, and they've just kind of got lucky.
Exactly.
We can stop trashing Coldplay
Alright.
for now.
Do we have to?
We don't have. If you got more takes, I do. I know I do.
I mean, it's just so fun. But
One more Coldplay thing. Twice in this last week, Chris Martin himself in interviews has talked about how other great artists don't think he's a good songwriter. Because he had that story after David Bowie died, where he was talking about sending a song to Bowie. He's like, "Oh, I'd love for you to sing on this song," and Bowie sent it back, and he's like, "Yeah, you know what, Chris, this isn't a very good song. I don't think I can do it." And then this week, Beyonce did the same thing.
Really?
He's like, he told Rolling Stone, he's like, "Yeah, Beyonce's really nice and honest. I gave her a song, and she's like, Chris, this song is crap." Oh man.
Why would he admit that in an interview?
I don't know. Like, I just don't think he cares that much about being in a band. Like I said,
I guess not.
he has no self-respect.
I guess not.
It's sad, really. All right, that was my one more. Do you have one more?
No, I think Chris Martin's taken enough of a like roasting for
Yeah.
now.
Let's leave him alone. Like, he's probably not that bad a guy.
I'm sure he's a decent guy.
And there are worse bands.
Don't say it.
There are worse bands. Like, I
Do
don't know.
not say it.
I'm not gonna have examples for them, but
Do not say it.
I'm sure we could all think of worse bands.
Moving on.
Moving on. Another racially fraught cultural moment is coming up.
Yeah.
And that would be
The Oscars.
the Oscars. That's my segue. Yeah, the Oscars are coming up. Always something I watch. It's always really interesting. Well, sometimes it's kind of boring, but there's always stuff to talk about. This year, Chris Rock is hosting. There's a bunch of nominees, and most of them are white, as has been much publicized. And that makes a lot of sense because it is kind of a historical problem if you look at the old history of who gets nominated and who doesn't. What are your thoughts on the whole proceedings?
You know what? Here's the deal. It's like the NFL. It's an institution. It's basically generating the same mindset that the NFL does,
Mm-hmm.
just on a slightly more polished scale. And here's the deal. Chris Rock has the opportunity right now, as Ricky Gervais has said, to really make a statement when he's hosting the Oscars.
Yeah. It could be quite interesting if he kind of decides to be edgy and really go for the throat. And Chris Rock generally does do that.
And that's the interesting part of it, is I guess the hosting duties were doled out before all this came out, really. But if they weren't, that's a really interesting decision to give it to Chris, when Chris has been known his entire career to not be afraid to go places that other people won't.
Did you see him on SNL telling those 9/11 jokes?
I can't remember. I think so.
It was about the new building that they built at the World Trade Center, and on how weird it was, that there's a sunglasses hut and a pita pit there. It was edgy as hell, but he didn't care. He was just competing with himself. How deep can I go and still get a laugh? It was amazing.
He's made his money. He doesn't really need any more.
Mm-hmm.
So
he's doing well. He's doing it for himself, and I think that's going to make the Oscars, at least the opening monologue, very, very much worth watching.
For sure.
Is he your pretty much ideal host? If we're going with, or would you like maybe Liam Gallagher or?
Oh my God. Oh.
No, but seriously, is he probably who you'd want?
Yeah. For
Yeah,
sure.
I can't think of a better one. I'm a huge Chris Rock fan.
Yeah, he was my favorite comedian for a long time. I've been doing some stand-up comedy here and there, and I remember even when I was a little too young to be watching Chris Rock. Wow. Even when I was a little too young to be watching Chris Rock, I remember really enjoying his stuff.
Oh yeah, he's got some of the best specials ever. Incredible guy. What do you actually think of the? I guess we can talk about the controversy a little bit more. And I know we're both white guys, but my take on it is that it's not necessarily a problem with the Oscars, and that's not really the hill that I would want to die on as far politically. The problem is obviously with hiring practices in Hollywood, and hopefully something like the controversy around it can bring some attention to that. But until the hiring practices change, then nothing's going to change.
That's a good point, actually. And here's my take on it. This has been going on forever, and a lot of good roles for black actors haven't been recognized, and a lot of better roles than Will Smith's concussion haven't been recognized.
Yeah.
Listen, Concussion is not the movie that you want to start this movement with. You want a movie that like forces the Academy to basically give you an Oscar or look like fools. And Concussion is not that movie. I liked the movie. I didn't think Will Smith gave an Oscar-worthy performance, but I did see throughout that movie scenes that were specifically set up as Oscar bait.
Oh yeah, it screams Oscar bait. I haven't watched it, but like it just obviously looks like one. And it doesn't seem like too many people responded very strongly to that movie. I mean, most people say, yeah, it was a good, like, HBO movie.
Yeah,
it could have been a TV movie.
I could see that.
But, Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith aren't exactly who I'm taking most of my cues on racial politics from.
Really? You haven't followed the word of the Fresh Prince of the Gospel?
Not exactly. I really enjoy him as an actor. But I haven't seen too many comments from those two about any of the racial issues going on in America right now before Will Smith was snubbed for an Oscar. Well, so it's kind of suspicious.
Well, if you look at his kid's been going on tangents about who knows what on Twitter forever.
Oh my God, those kids are hilarious. They the things they believe are awesome. Like they are free spirits. Those kids. I like them.
Yeah, it's funny to read some of this stuff on their Twitter timeline.
They're clearly rich Scientologist kids.
I think it's safe to say that they are indeed Scientologists at this point.
It's a thing. So any thoughts on some of the nominees? Like, who do you want to win, or like, what about Best Picture?
I want Spotlight for Best Picture.
Spotlight, nice. I haven't seen it yet, but I really want to see it. It looks awesome.
Yeah. And Leonardo DiCaprio better get his Oscar.
Yeah, me too. He was incredible. I really liked Matt Damon in The Martian, but I think it's got to be Leo. That was an awesome role.
If not for anything else, but to stop the Leo hasn't won an Oscar controversy.
It's ridiculous. The work he's put in, right?
Yeah. It should be more of a Lifetime Achievement Award at this point.
Well, it kind of should be. Like, I like to see a well-rounded career, right? Like, maybe someone doesn't have a standout performance, but, that has been in like 20 amazing movies.
Exactly.
And Leo has been in 20 amazing movies.
Probably a little more than that.
Yeah, that's being conservative. I think my pick for Best Picture is Mad Max: Fury Road.
Is that nominated?
It is nominated. I'm happy to see a genre film get nominated. I'm really happy about that. Another genre win was that Inside Out, the animated movie. I haven't seen it, but it is nominated for Best Screenplay.
Kelsey, I love that movie so much.
Everyone says it's amazing. For me, it's like the movies that people respond to, right? Like, what were the movies that people responded to? And this year, it was Mad Max. It was Ex Machina early in the year. Everyone was talking about it that saw it. Inside Out and Star Wars.
Yep.
And at least Mad Max got a nomination. It might win.
I am 23, well, almost 23 years old, and Inside Out made me cry.
And you're as jaded as they come.
I'm so jaded. I am so hardened on the inside and cynical. You know this.
Yeah. That's awesome. I can't wait to blubber my eyes out because I am soft. I'm not hardened by the cruelty of the world yet. And thus movies make me just destroy me.
That is why you live a far better life than I do.
I can't say that, Sean. You live a very rich life.
I live a rich life. I don't think I don't know.
I mean, it is in Whitby.
Yeah, so, suburbia.
There's nothing wrong with that, man. There's beauty everywhere. I'm gonna make you puke. I'm sorry.
Yeah, come on now.
I'm sorry. Well, let's keep talking about the Oscars.
All right.
I'm hoping to see my favorite actor, Cate Blanchett, win another Best Actress award. Love to see that. That's kind of one of the things I'm looking at. I'd like to see Tom Hardy win for The Revenant as well. I really liked that role. I've been a fan of Jennifer Jason Leigh for 20 years. I'd like to see her win. Although Rachel McAdams, who was in Spotlight, got a nomination. And I have to say, she has been improving her game lately. She's been doing the James Harden, like, not this year, but like a couple years ago.
It's good to hear you say that because I did not enjoy Rachel McAdams for the longest time.
But you liked her in this one, though?
I guess, but I mean, it takes years of... I like the movie, but it takes years of, like... her performance was blocked by years of bad performances in my eyes.
Well,
so,
I don't know if she's ever been terrible, but she's been okay, and I think she wanted to be better. And I think she has been getting better. Like, even in True Detective Season 2, she tried.
And that's more than you could say for Vince Vaughn.
Vince Vaughn, I don't know if that was his fault or just the weirdly written role. I did not understand what was going on with that character. Because I like Vince Vaughn as a performer. He's very good. Yeah, so I give credit to Rachel McAdams for improving her game and getting better at acting. I like her, and we were born in the same hospital.
Oh, no way.
In Trenton, Ontario. Yeah, Trenton Memorial Hospital.
Celebrity facts with Kelsey Powell.
Yeah, celebrity stories and connections.
Yep.
I've mentioned Ex Machina. I'm surprised that it didn't get more love because it was pretty much the best movie this year.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
It's very underrated. People need to watch that movie. I keep saying it. I said it last week or whenever that podcast comes out. I keep saying people need to go see that or pick up that movie at this point.
I think it's on Netflix, so you really have no excuse. It is one of the best movies I've seen in a long time.
For sure.
Really incredible.
I just found out that Oscar Isaac was in that movie.
Yeah.
And it blew my mind.
Oscar Isaac, man, it's the beard. He's hiding behind a beard.
That's it, right?
Basically, a beard can change a face, and he's that good an actor too.
Yep.
It did get a writing nomination and a visual effects nomination.
Well, the visual effects, it's gotta win that.
Mm-hmm. It was pretty convincing, and for a very low budget too.
Do you know what they made that movie on?
No, I don't. It was not a lot though.
Alright, well, sorry to set you up there. I didn't mean to do that.
No, that's all right. We put each other in awkward positions all the time. It's part of what we do. I'm hoping to see Ex Machina win for best original screenplay. I'm hoping to see Adam McKay win for The Big Short, which was also really good. Have you seen that one yet?
Yeah.
It is good.
I love Steve Carell and everything he does.
Yeah, he's amazing. I'm rewatching The Office, some of the later Office episodes, and he is just brilliant. I really like that movie. Great performances, great writing, really funny. It was cool to see a period piece of like 2007.
I know.
Because it made you feel old, but like that did feel like a different time. Like
it made me feel so old.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. Like the ludicrous and stuff. Like
always good to hear Ludacris on his soundtrack.
Oh yeah, gotta have Luda.
Now, wrapping this up, sorry to cut you off there. I think you have some roller derby names in the best segment of our show, roller derby.
Yeah, we took a week off, or 2 weeks off from this segment, but it's definitely one of our favorite things to do. So I went with a theme this week. I looked for Peyton Manning inspired names, but I only found one, and it was Skatin' Manning, which is good.
I'm not impressed.
It's not great. So what I did was I went to the city of Denver, the winning city for the Super Bowl, and looked for some of their teams, and I found the Mile High Club Skaters. Pretty good team name, and we're going to go over some of the better ones that they have. So this is Denver Roller Derby's Mile High Skaters. We have some Harry Potter inspired names here too, two of them. The first one is Whiz Bang Weasley.
Yeah.
Yep. We got Tracy Disco Akers. Okay. Susie Pow. Stacy Midge Mayhem Wilhelm.
What?
Yeah, Midge Mayhem. So maybe like it's like a swarm of insects. Sharon Tacos. S.H. Long. I don't know, Schlong, I guess. Reptar. Oh, the dogs we're being played off. It's like an Oscar speech.
Yeah.
And it seems we don't have enough time. I'd like to thank my wife, my agent, the Denver Mile High Club Roller Derby League. It's been a great week.
I'm gonna let you finish.
You're gonna let me finish? Okay, it's coming down. It's coming down. So, to continuing, we have Phantom Menace.
Okay.
Which I like.
Okay.
Luna Shovegood.
What?
Yep. That's the second Harry Potter inspired one. Leah, which is pretty boring.
It is indeed.
Chrisana Bricks Hit House Barrett. Bricks Hit House Barrett.
Why are you Bricks Hit House?
Have you ever heard that term?
I've heard Brick House. I haven't heard Bricks Hit House.
It's actually Brick Shit House.
Oh,
it's like, oh, he's tough. He's built like a brick shit house.
That's smart.
Yeah. So we got Farm Fresh, CC Ripjaw, Cannibal Corpse, which is
No.
pretty good.
No.
Blondie.
That's
Ooh.
boring.
Oh, here's a good one. Bijou Black and Blue. That's pretty good. We're playing with another language here. Amanda the Swiss Missile Sharpless.
Oh.
That's pretty good. And this one's it's confusing, but it's great. Abena Norepinephrine Watson Sirabo.
Yes.
And that's norepinephrine. But if you say it fast, it's norepinephrine.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty damn good. So she's like an EpiPen of shoving. So yeah, that's the Mile High Club skaters.
And not a lot of those were impressive, but I think you saved it with the last one.
Norepinephrine was great. I like Luna Shovegood a lot too.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's the mood I'm in tonight.
Yeah, you're not feeling it. You have high standards, I know. We've been away for a while, so you got to keep it going.
Well, we've been rolling out the premier roller derby names for so long now.
I know, we have really high standards. Oh, I missed another Harry Potter one. And we'll end with this one. It's Serious Blackout.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, that's a good one. Serious Blackout. That's three. It's hard to search by theme, but it looks like there's a lot of Harry Potter fans in the Denver area. So congratulations, Denver, for your Super Bowl win. I reluctantly admit that you guys were great and you deserved it. And are filled with great roller derby teams. Any pop culture recommendations to end the show with?
Well, you have something that's starting on, Thursday?
Yeah, I'm in a play called When We Sorrow Most. If you're in Peterborough, you can check it out at the Theatre on King at 8 o'clock. It's running from Thursday to Saturday. It's a fun little thing, and you get to see me be romantic, and then things take a dark turn.
I didn't know that was possible.
Yep. Things are going to... What, me being romantic? Yeah, I know. It's hard to imagine. It's not my wheelhouse.
It's not what I'm used to seeing you in, I guess.
No.
It's the better way of saying that.
I guess that would be the better way, but... we all have our strengths, and sometimes we like to work on our weaknesses.
I'm sorry. I feel like a complete...
No, I've been that gets me back for all the Oasis talk.
I guess it does.
Yeah.
I guess we're even now.
I'd say so. I'd also I'd like to recommend the American Crime Story, The People versus O.J. Simpson.
Yes, please.
It's really good. Please. Have you watched it?
It is so good.
Yeah.
So good.
I can't wait to see the next episode.
So good.
Yeah.
Watch it. You'll enjoy it.
Watch that stuff. Watch the Kasperi Kapanen interviewing William Nylander on Pension Plan Puppets.
That exists?
Yeah, you should check that out. It's 20 questions with Kasperi Kapanen and Willie Nylander. It's pretty fun. You got anything else, Sean?
No, I think that about wraps it up for this week on the Piss Poor Prospect podcast. I'm Sean Togan for Kelsey Powell saying have a good week and we'll see you soon.
That's right. Have a good night.